Recap. As our heroes are in the Pokémon Center to pick up some supplements that they need for an errand, Goh's Grookey and Chloe's Eevee cause trouble when they jump on Chansey's pouch, causing her egg to fall. Luckily, Pikachu's there for the save. So, to prove that their Pokemon can behave, Ash compels both Goh and Chloe to see if their Pokemon can do a simple task of taking the supplements that they just got from the Pokemon Center back to the lab by themselves, because Pikachu could do it so much easier. Ash, you sly dog. After setting up their Pokemon each with the supplements and telling them how to get back to the lab, Goh and Chloe wish them well, but Ash tells them to follow from behind just in case they need help. That way they can sneakily provide them with support. And on the other hand, Team Rocket is doing something similar, as they want to get ice cream to put on top of pie and eat it, and that sounds disgusting, but regardless, they're sending Pelipper to do that. And because this is also its first errand, just like our heroes, Jessie's worried, so she says they should also follow behind it and sneakily provide it with support. The rest of the episode is hijinks as Eevee and Grookey get distracted, Ash has to help them using Gengar and Sirfetch'd, which is good since we don't really see those Pokemon that often, and even Team Rocket's Pelipper forgets where it's supposed to go and it's getting ample support from Team Rocket. The episode concludes with Pelipper getting back to the Rocket base with the ice cream, only for Morpeko to eat everything, Eevee to make it to the lab by itself with the supplements, and Grookey, who got dropped off in the forest by Team Rocket's Pelipper, struggling but eventually getting back to the lab with the supplement, completing its first task. The premise of this episode is apparently based on a Japanese television show called this right here. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. Also known as My First Errand, where parents send their young kids on their first errand with a film crew tagged along to see how they do. And honestly, watching that show really makes you appreciate this episode so much more, because the reactions of Jessie and Goh are the exact same reactions that the parents in the shows always have. I'll put a link in the description for one of the episodes that I watched, but honestly, I genuinely recommend watching that episode because it makes this episode so much better to watch. Ash's characterization was also great in this episode. He played the Brock role to both Chloe and Goh, except he was the one who started the entire thing. He was the one who brought up how responsible Pikachu was in order to have them compete. Look at that grin and tell me he didn't do it on purpose. But he also works well in the support role because he's able to keep everything in track until things go off the rail as they always do. One thing I did notice is that it seems like there's an entire section missing from the middle of the episode. Goh wants to wear Ash's clothes to, I guess, disguise himself from Grookey, but when Grookey gets inside the Pelipper's mouth and flies away and Goh loses sight of Pelipper and Grookey, does he just give the clothes back? I feel like there should be something in between here, or just not have that pointless outfit swap here at all because it didn't really contribute anything to the episode besides confusion. The one thing in this episode I really didn't like, and I haven't liked it in episodes prior, but it really sticks out in this episode, is how mean-spirited the whole Morpeko gag feels compared to Team Rocket's past strategies. I mean, James' Victory Bell or Marini biting him felt harmless enough, and Beware was actually feeding them. But this actively feels mean because it feels like they're getting punished as characters for no reason. In this episode, they don't try to steal any Pokemon, they don't go after anyone, all they do is try to help out and support their Pelipper, and they're successful in doing so. And once they do, they don't bother anyone else or try to steal any more Pokemon. They head back to their base and wait for it. So when Pelipper returns with their ice cream, rather than being rewarded with their good behavior by being allowed to eat the food, the plot seemingly punishes them just because. And because of that, you hate Morpeko even more because it feels like it's ruining any possible triumphant moments for Team Rocket. I don't understand that at all. I wonder how much of it has to do with the fact that blasting off is such a foreign concept, while someone eating your food and making you actively hungry is so ingrained in our brains as humans that we feel more empathetic because of that. Either way, while there is a message of growth at the end of this episode, it didn't really feel that way throughout the episode. Only Chloe's Eevee seems to have learned anything, and even then, Chloe's Eevee was never the one really causing issues. It was always Goh's Grookey. And while eventually Goh's Grookey did complete his tasks, I'm not really sure what that even means. Does it mean it's going to stop being mischievous? Because that's such a vague message of growth. I don't think there's anything tangible there, and that's why I don't think there's going to be any difference moving forward. So because of that, this entire arc feels a bit fluffy. Overall, if I had to rank this episode in the Suede rank scale, I'd rank this a Pokeball. It's a nothing episode in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's enjoyable enough. The next episode is interesting as it seems to follow up on a part of this episode where I thought this episode really suffered, and that's how mean-spirited this whole Morpeko thing feels. It looks like James might catch this Pokemon next? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 69, nice, of the Journeys anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, in the comments let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.